Today's video is all about head movement and some of the killer moves that I can see where it relates to head movement and how this can affect your consistency. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in. The first killer move that we want to discuss is the classic head sway off the golf ball. Anytime we excessively sway off the golf ball, it's really going to affect our ball striking because the head is one of the three centers within the golf swing, and anytime these centers waver, so in this case the center moves behind the golf ball, it's really going to affect our low point control, and in turn we're going to see lots of fats and thins. We might slide back onto it to try and figure it out, and in turn see some kind of blocky, at times maybe snap hooks in there as well. So controlling the head is really important, and a really good drill you can do is to grab yourself another golf ball, get set up like you normally would, and place the golf ball just inside the arch of your trail foot. So as you can see, it's going to pre-roll my foot. So when I'm making a move to the top now, what you'll notice is all the pressure is going to stay within the inside of my trail foot. I'm really going to feel the rib cage stretch and extend more vertically up in the backswing to help my center stay controlled or nice and centered in the head. And that's going to make me feel much more on top of the ball, not swaying off the golf ball as much as I was before, and give you those centered, crisp strikes which we're looking for. Killer move number two is how the head might dip or might rise in the backswing. As a rule of thumb, it's important to understand that any head movement up or down we see in the backswing, we will see the opposite reaction of in the downswing. So if we're someone who lifts up in the backswing, we're going to see the head drop in the downswing, and that's going to flatten the shoulders up on the way back. It's going to then re-steepen the shoulders on the way down. The likelihood there is the golf is going to be thrown really steep, really over the top, and we can see some big kind of cutting ones from there. And for you guys who dip down at the golf ball and then rise up, we can sometimes struggle with some low point control in the sense of fats and thins, and we can really see some blocky hooking ones in there as well. So our ability to control the head movement up and down is really important when it comes to the relation of swing plane and other strike ideas in there as well. So a really good drill and a really good feeling for this is to get your head up against the wall. You can start by doing this without a golf club, just putting your hands across your shoulders, shimmy forwards into a wall, so it's loosely resting onto the forehead, and make some rotational moves, just feeling what it's like to keep that head at that same height back and through. You can then advance that to resting your hands into somewhat of a gripping position and make that exact same move to the top, feeling what that's like, and then grab your golf club, go back to the golf ball, and create that exact same feeling. What does it feel like to keep my height much better on the way back, so that I can then freely rotate through the golf ball from there. And the final head movement we want to try and remove is for you guys who are lungers or sliders of this world. You guys who start your change in direction from backswing to downswing by this head laterally sliding towards the target and getting into all sorts of bother from there. So if you struggle with tops or skying the ball with the wood, then this movement here will really promote that low point to be too far ahead of the golf ball and promote that movement from there. It's also quite counterintuitive for you guys who are flippers or scoopers of this world. A lot of guys who are looking for compression and looking for that shaft lean position will try and lunge and transfer to excessively ahead of the golf ball, and what happens is when I'm too ahead of the golf ball, I now need to find the golf ball by flipping at it. So when it comes to compression and shaft lean, this is actually quite counterintuitive and is a common misconception that I see. What we want to see is the exact opposite. We want to move to the top with good head movement from there to begin, and feel like there's a line just outside my left ear, so my lead ear for you lefties, and just feel like my head is staying behind that line as I unwind back into impact. That A is going to promote much better movement of the hips and shaft lean and turn, and for the woods it's going to promote that nice shallow upwards angle attack which we are looking for from there. A really good drill for is to get yourself up against the wall, have your lead ear about ½ an inch away from that wall, and make some movements without a golf club to begin with, and try and feel what it's like for that head to not laterally slide towards target whilst doing those moves. Do one or two of those just to try and create a feel, and then get yourself set up to a golf ball and try and replicate that exact same feel. Start small to begin. Usually people with these movements, when they add power to the golf ball, they use this as a power source. So by just taking off that 20%, it'll give you time and awareness to be able to feel that new move of not laterally swaying to the golf ball, so that you can create a much better movement coming back down into impact, and not suffer with those other shots from there. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a comment in the comment section down below, or give me a follow on my socials. For any online or in-person coaching, give me a follow on the SKILLEST app, search David Atkins, and drop me a message from there. But until next time, catch you on the next one.